men are losing their libido, sex drive, energy, and confidence at record rates. After tracking my own libido, energy, and recovery metrics for over a decade, I discovered exactly why this is happening and how to reverse it. The real problem isn't just aging or genetics. It's that most men are unknowingly exposed to 5 environmental factors that silently destroy their libido, and most solutions actually make it worse. There's one critical factor that determines whether you'll keep declining or reclaim your sex drive. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what's happening to men's biology, the science behind why it's getting worse, and the exact protocol I use to double my energy, increase my testosterone, and get back the mental clarity I thought was gone forever. I've tested every fix out there on myself, tracking blood work, performance metrics, and recovery data before developing this system. And what I found contradicts what most health experts are telling you. So let's get started. This isn't just happening to a few unlucky guys. Studies in the US and UK have found that 1 in 6 men experience a lack of sexual interest lasting several months within a given year. But here's what's really alarming. A common side effect of low libido is erectile dysfunction. A study published in 2005 found that ED affects roughly 52% of men aged 40 to 70. A whopping 30 to 50 million men in the US and 150 million worldwide are estimated to have this. And it's projected to affect 322 million men globally by 2025. The main causes of ED are poor blood flow from heart problems or diabetes, low testosterone, and stress and anxiety. Erectile problems can be the first warning sign of silent heart disease, often appearing 3 to 5 years before a heart attack. Your penile arteries are essentially the canary in the coal mine for your cardiovascular system. In addition, sperm counts in the West have dropped 52% in just 1 generation. What's causing all of this is a combination of 3 factors outlined in the 2023 study. The first is chronic disease like diabetes, hypertension, and metabolic syndrome. The second is environmental effects like BPA, phthalates, and heavy metals. And the third is lifestyle, like obesity, diet, tobacco, alcohol, poor stress, and sleep. And it's not just your sperm count in danger, it's your natural testosterone levels too. From 1999 to 2016, the average testosterone levels of American men under 40 has fallen from 605 nanograms per deciliter to 451. That's just 25% in 17 years. Another study in non-obese, diabetic males found that 29% were testosterone deficient, with 70% of the test group meeting or exceeding recommended activity levels. Many suspected this was due to increasing obesity rates and smoking, but those people were only a small percentage of the sample size. There are other environmental factors at play affecting this that I'll cover later. I've been obsessively tracking my own health metrics for over 7 years now. Morning testosterone readings, Whoop HRV data, sleep quality metrics, you named it, I've tracked it. And what I discovered was fascinating. Every dip in my testosterone matched spikes in my workout and energy output, stress, or poor sleep habits. It wasn't random, and it certainly wasn't just getting older. There were clear patterns that I could identify, and more importantly, fix. And when I implemented what I'm about to show you, this happened. Working with my clients, I've seen this pattern repeatedly. Men who come to me at 30% plus body fat and implement my protocol see testosterone levels increase with every new blood test. The correlation is undeniable. The lower their body fat percentage drops, the higher their testosterone levels climb. In an analysis of 11 studies involving about 25,000 men, researchers found that having a body mass index higher than 27 and engaging in less than 75 minutes of weekly vigorous activity were each linked to lower testosterone levels. Other contributing factors were having ever smoked and health issues like high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and diabetes. But to maximize your testosterone, you need to be in something called the Goldilocks zone, because if you go too low in body fat, your testosterone will plummet. A 2017 study stated a healthy range of body fat from men is typically 8 to 19%, depending on your body type. But be careful, just because 8% body fat might be optimal for you, doesn't mean you'll feel optimal on the road to get there. Being in a big calorie deficit, nutrient deficient, and overtraining will make your T levels in libido worse. For normal men with body fat of 15 to 25%, you have 2 options to lose weight and burn fat. One is slow and steady with optimal training, a slight 10% calorie deficit, and this will allow you to maintain decent energy and libido. The second is go Dave and Goggins, full hard and fast with the 800 plus calorie deficit, excessive workouts and cardio, but you'll see your energy levels suffer and your libido dwindle. For men clinically obese, greater than 25 to 30% body fat, and a BMI greater than 30, you also have 2 options based on a 2011 study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine. One is a low-calorie diet using meal replacements, eating roughly 1,000 calories a day, and 2 is a high-protein, low-fat, whole food diet with a 600 calorie deficit. The study showed that just after 8 weeks, waist circumference circumference and body fat reduced by 10% on a low-calorie diet and 5% for those on the high-protein, low-fat diet. This led to significant improvements in erectile function, sexual desire, and urinary symptoms in both groups, and these improvements continued for over 12 months. Before we dive into the 5 libido killers, let's quickly understand how your sex drive actually works. Think of it like a circuit board with multiple connection points. Dopamine in your brain signals your hypothalamus, your brain's hormone control center, regulating hunger, sleep, mood, and sex drive, which releases luteinizing hormone. This signal travels to your Leydig cells in your testicles, which then produce testosterone, and testosterone then drives desire. Research has confirmed this testosterone-dopamine relationship. Studies show that testosterone administration increases dopamine release in your brain's reward system, but you don't need to take exogenous testosterone to increase your natural testosterone levels. Natural ways of increasing dopamine, like exercise, laughing, sunlight, music, getting good sleep, can help increase T production. But here's where things get interesting. This circuit can be disrupted at multiple points. First, cortisol, your body's stress hormone, which can block dopamine. 2 is sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG. This can bind to testosterone, making it unavailable for your body to use. And 3 is endocrine disruptors, like plastics, which can interfere with your hormone production. Understanding the circuit is crucial because each of these 5 libido killers I'm about to share targets a different part of this system. If you want to go even more in depth on libido and what might be causing your issues, I strategize with all my clients to find root causes and create an action plan personalized just for them. Check out the link below for more. The first libido killer is something you're exposed to every single day, and it's hiding in plain sight. I'm talking about plastics and endocrine disruptors. In a groundbreaking study published in Human Reproduction, men occupationally exposed to BPA had 3.9 times more reduced sexual desire and 4.5 times more erectile difficulties compared to unexposed workers. This is because chemicals like BPA and phthalates act as androgen receptor antagonists. They literally block testosterone from doing its job. They also raise SHBG levels, which further reduces your free testosterone that your body can use. These chemicals are everywhere: plastic water bottles, food containers, thermal receipts, and even personal care products. And they're silently sabotaging your hormones every day. But studies show that reducing exposure can lead to hormone improvements in just a few weeks. The second libido killer is directly connected to the modern Western diet and lifestyle, and it's creating a vicious cycle that's nearly impossible to break without the right approach. That's visceral fat and ultra-processed diet. Harvard Health published research showing that having a BMI higher than 27 and engaging in less than 75 minutes of weekly vigorous activity were each linked to lower testosterone levels. Here's why this matters. Fat cells, especially visceral fat around your organs, contain an enzyme called aromatase that converts testosterone into estrogen. The more fat you have, the more testosterone gets converted, which cannot be used by your body, thus creating a vicious cycle. I've seen this firsthand with my clients. Men who come to me at 30% plus body fat see their testosterone levels increase with every blood test as they lose weight. The pattern is consistent. Lower body fat correlates directly with higher testosterone levels. Additionally, ultra-processed foods and high sugar intake lead to insulin resistance, which crashes your GnRH production, the master switch for your reproductive hormones. And if you implement these first 2 strategies, your testosterone will skyrocket, leading you to feel more energized and focused while improving your sleep. The third libido killer is something that most men experience daily, but rarely connect their declining sex drive. It's silently draining your hormones and energy, and it's getting worse in our modern world. I'm talking about chronic stress and sleep debt. Studies show clear connection between lifestyle factors and libido. A 2021 study revealed active smokers were 7 times more likely to experience severely decreased sexual desire. Research examining young adults demonstrates that smokers maintain higher cortisol levels than non-smokers, with greater morning spikes and slower declines of cortisol throughout the day. The research also found men with nocturia, or frequent nighttime urination, were twice as likely to report low libido. This connection isn't coincidental. Elevated cortisol directly impacts testosterone production. Multiple studies confirm that increased cortisol, whether from poor sleep, work stress, or even excessive exercise, directly correlates with lower testosterone levels and reduced sexual desire. Sleep quality plays a crucial role. Just 6 nights of 4 hours of sleep sessions increased cortisol levels and slowed cortisol clearance by 6 times. Similarly, overtraining for merely just 2 weeks raised cortisol by 30% while reducing testosterone levels 36%. The mechanism is clear. High cortisol from chronic stress actively suppresses testosterone production. Additionally, fragmented sleep, particularly reduced REM sleep, leads to lower morning testosterone and dopamine levels. This evidence underscores why stress management and quality sleep are optional extras but essential foundations for maintaining optimal libido. The fourth libido killer is a relatively new phenomenon that's affecting men of all ages and is rewiring your brain in ways that make natural sexual desire increasingly difficult to maintain. I'm talking about digital dopamine overload. This one doesn't have as many formal studies yet, but the evidence is mounting. Excessive for use and endless social media scrolling desensitize your brain's reward system. This leads to what researchers call reward system blunting, where real-life sexual encounters can't compete with the dopamine hits from digital stimulation. The testosterone-dopamine axis we discussed earlier is particularly vulnerable to this type of overstimulation. When dopamine receptors become desensitized, it creates a cascade effect that ultimately impacts testosterone production and utilization. The fifth libido killer might be sitting in your medicine cabinet right now, prescribed by the very doctors who are supposed to be helping your health, and that's medications and substances like SSRIs, beta blockers, opioids, and heavy alcohol consumption can all significantly impact your libido by either lowering testosterone or affecting dopamine pathways. Even GLP-1 inhibitors like Ozempic or tirzepatide and cholesterol-lowering meds like statins have shown to lower libido. If you need these medications, don't stop taking them, but there are strategies for timing, alternatives, and counteracting their effects. Many men don't realize that their declining libido coincides perfectly with starting a new medication, and doctors rarely mention sexual side effects when prescribing these drugs, leaving men to wonder what's wrong with them when their desire disappears. Now that you understand the 5 libido killers, let's talk about how to measure where you stand and implement the protocol that's helped me and hundreds of clients reclaim their sex drive, energy, and confidence. Here are the main labs to request from your doctor. Overall, we want to look at a full hormonal panel, as well as your blood glucose control, like insulin, glucose, and HbA1c. In addition to blood work, we want to track our biometrics, so wearing a device like Whoop or an Oura Ring to track our sleep, our calories burned, and our recovery will all help us implement this. You can even make note of how many times you wake up with a morning erection, how often you wake up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, your digital consumption or usage, and then body metrics like your weight, your body fat percentage using a DEXA scan, and your waist measurement. Now that you understand what's killing your libido, let me share the exact protocol that increased my testosterone naturally and has helped hundreds of men reclaim their sex drive, energy, and confidence. First, we want to do an environmental detox, eliminating any testosterone-killing chemicals. Next, we want to do a metabolic reset. We want to optimize your body's hormone production. So this means increasing your protein intake to about 30% of your daily calories, ensuring you get high-quality fats from olive oil, avocado, macadamia nuts, and really just making sure you get whole foods that come from the earth. And following a Mediterranean-style diet has shown to improve libido. But just listen to your body, and whatever is working and making you feel better, I would stick with that. Third is strategic training. So movement patterns that maximize testosterone, which is your resistance training, your zone 2 cardio, your high-intensity interval training, and even VO2 max training. Then we want to optimize your sleep by maximizing your body's overnight hormone production and recovery. And 5 is stress management. We want to lower cortisol to protect testosterone, whether that be daily meditation, some breath work, mindfulness practice, or just lowering stress around work, your relationships, or just life in general. And 6, medical optimization. So if needed, after implementing all the above, I would review medications with your doctor to treat anything that you couldn't fix naturally on your own with the lifestyle changes. If you want the full protocol that's helped me double my testosterone and reclaim my libido without expensive treatments, click the link below to get access. And if you want a personalized step-by-step plan on how to optimize every aspect of the system and take your performance to the next level, book a call with me. I'll see you next time.